Welcome to Tech It Up with Jessica Lee. I have the AVP Marketing from HCL, Shimona Chadha. How are you, Shimona?
I'm doing great, Jessica.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, it is such a pleasure, and I really look forward to our conversation today.
Yes, we're going to talk about marketing, B2B marketing, but let's touch on B2C first, because I know you came from doing B2C marketing, and you brought some of those practices and also make some changes to the whole B2B marketing. So share with us your viewpoints right now.
Yeah, Jessica, I think I have been very, very fortunate enough to have the experience of working with both B2C and B2B organizations and being able to make that switch. But I think today, that switch is so natural because today we are looking at a phase of a renaissance which is happening in the B2B marketing space. Okay. And that is primarily being driven by the rapid changes which are happening in the B2B buyer behavior. If you look at the conventional B2B buyer, this was somebody who was a known person. Organizations knew who their buyers were at very early stages of the buying cycle. Quite often the salesperson would be meeting this buyer very regularly and pitching the B2B products and services. This buyer was also known to be making a very rational purchase decision. But today, if you look at the trends which are happening and how the consumer is evolving, today 61% of the consumers, the B2B buyers, are actually choosing not to engage with the salesperson of the organization, and they prefer doing search on their own whenever they're looking for a product or a service.
Yes.
And quite often by the time that they actually get in touch with a salesperson, 60% of them are already in the consideration stage. Which means earlier, like how we knew who this buyer was, this was a known buyer in the early stages of the buying cycle, today is becoming more and more anonymous, and we come to know who this person is only at the later stages of the funnel. So that's the first change which is happening. The second change which is happening is that because a lot of the consumer journeys and the buyer journeys of B2B is mimicking that of B2C, the linearity of this whole buying cycle is going away, which means that the customer will engage with whichever function, whichever channel, whichever lever he or she wishes to engage with at the time that he or she wishes to engage with the organizations that he or she wishes to engage with.
Yes, I agree. I think the buyer has a lot more power.
The buyer
can research at their own pace. They can check many sources. But what that means to me is that I think marketing has more power now than sales. Before, you can see the silo of operations, but now things are blurring, right? Marketing has to produce a lot more content. So therefore, marketing actually has a lot of impact now on that buying journey.
Right. Marketing does surely have an impact on the buying journey. And also what is happening with the B2B buyer is he is more and more morphing like a B2C consumer. Another very interesting change which is happening in the B2B buyer is that because they're following the same path to purchase as they would follow in a B2C sales situation, a lot of them are expecting the same type of customer experience, the same type of lack of friction, the same type of consistency across channels which they see when they are making a B2C purchase from a B2B purchase situation. And that is why marketing is today increasing its remit to involve the entire plethora of activities which go into making a customer engage. So a lot of them are rewriting the rules of customer engagement, which not just include customer experience, they include customer advocacy. How do you turn your customers into evangelism? How do you create that emotional connect with your customers, which go much beyond that particular point when a sales happen? So what I would say is that today, more or less, the lines between a B2B consumer and a B2C consumer are blurring. And similarly, the way we market in a B2B situation and a B2C situation, there are a lot of synergies which are coming out.
I think sales and marketing have to work together very closely now because that journey is a blur line between where is marketing's responsibilities start and end and where sales take over. Have you seen the changes and how is it working in your organization?
Okay. So today, if you look at the statistics, about 78% of the B2B buyers are choosing a do not call me, I will call you preference. A lot of them are today saying, I do not want to fill up your lead form. I do not want to consume your gated content, which means that the linearity of the buying cycle, which was there, where, maybe the B2B buyer will engage with the seller, and then, we will have the marketing team step in, and then there will be certain marketing, levers with which we will engage with that customer. That is going away. The customer, frankly, does not care about our functional demarcation. So he or she does not care whether you're sales or marketing. He or she chooses to engage with organizations across the channels that he or she is looking at. And the role that marketing needs to play today is to ensure that they have the right content in the right context, contextualized to that particular consumer whenever he or she is looking at consuming that content. And coming to the point, the very interesting point that you made, that do sales and marketing now have to, does it really change the equations of sales and marketing? In fact, in the year 2014, HubSpot coined the terms marketing, which was about sales and marketing integration, sales and marketing alignment, sales and marketing working closely together. And a lot of organizations then moved on to having integrated KRAs for sales and marketing. I think today a lot of forward-looking marketing organizations are not just looking at integrating the KRAs of sales and marketing. I think they're looking at a total business model revamp where sales and marketing teams have aligned processes. They do not look at a funnel or a lead view of business. They're looking at the entire revenue view of business. So say they're aligning the sales and marketing teams along the revenue cycle of the customer, along the customer journey. This alignment is happening. And which also means that the sales technology stack, the marketing technology stack, and the ad stack is all merging together to form a revenue stack. So that's a change that's happening in marketing today.
I agree with you on that. And I think with the technology and the data, you're able to monitor, track, analyze. You are able to see what is the revenue compared to the marketing dollars spent, right? So that's okay. So in marketing, I know a lot of people are now using intent data. They're using machine learning and AI to be even more precise, more personalized. Are you doing that in marketing, or what are you seeing?
We are actually living in very exciting times where there's a whole revolution which is happening, and marketing is going to be setting a new normal in the way they operate. And a lot of this transformation, and maybe transformation is not the right term for it, maybe this disruption. A lot of this disruption would be aided by technology. Technology would actually form the backbone of some of these changes that are happening. If you today look at the Forrester classification, they actually have 31 classifications of marketing technology itself. And according to them, 3/4 of these marketing technologies are those that organizations should invest in or maintain. If you look at the count of vendors which exist today in the marketing technology space, I was there at the Martech event in San Jose earlier this month. And today there are more than 7,000 vendors which exist. So while there's a lot of excitement all around for the marketers, a lot of new stuff that they can experiment with, a lot of process enhancements that technology can do, I think what marketers need to do today is, view technology in a much broader sense than what they're looking at today. Because today marketers primarily use marketing technology for segmentation and ensuring that the messages that they want disseminated to their customers are passed over. I think we need to take a look at a broader view of technology. For example, what technology can facilitate it. If you look at and that's what you spoke about, right? There are the systems of insight which provide us intelligence about the consumer.
The intent.
Right? How do you ensure that the systems of insight integrate with the systems of interaction? All the systems which are there in the marketing technology space which help you interact with your customer. How can we ensure that in the organization we are able to create this common core which not just has customer data, which also has a lot of insights from the customer data and also has a lot of knowledge about the customer. And then how do you glean insights from here and leverage those insights to be able to drive interactions with the customer across the entire customer journey? Now that's the leverage that we're looking at from marketing technology. Another interesting thing which is happening, and we all are talking about it, is the introduction of artificial intelligence and machine learning, and how it will augment the effectiveness of the current marketing technology which is available with us. Let's look at how AI will fundamentally change the way humans interact with computing. If you look at voice, if you look at image, the plethora of opportunities which are available for the marketers to be able to leverage just these two new things which have hit the marketing world are immense, right? If you look at chatbots, if you look at conversational AI, AI-assisted email assistants, etc., a lot of them are fundamentally changing the way in which we interact with our customers. They're changing the way customer service would be defined in the future, and they're also leading to a lot of predictive and a lot of prescriptive next best action recommendations for the marketers. So there is a lot of excitement which is happening from a technology point of view. Even if you look at AR and VR, if you're looking at creating that immersive customer experience, AR and VR are also opening up a plethora of possibilities for us marketers.
That's true. It is a very exciting time. So one of the challenges that the marketers actually have is just keeping up with all of the innovative tech IT solutions available for them. And so yes, it's a very exciting time, and I can certainly agree with you on that. Let's talk about diversity and inclusion. I know you have this wonderful initiative called the Red Ladder. Can you share with us a bit more about what that is all about?
Oh, I would love to, Jessica, because this is a program which is very, very close to my heart. Being a woman and being a woman in technology, definitely, the statistics, if you look at them, that we have, while the population of the US, 50% are women, about 61% of the people who pass out with a master's degree are women, but still if you look at the numbers at the top, only 5% representation at the CEO level, and if you even look at executive level representation for women, that's only about 26%. Even if we look at the pay parity, it is about 77 cents to $1 which a man would be getting. I personally, and also the organization that I work for, HCL, we're very, very passionate about ensuring that we have more representation of women in leadership positions.
Good.
And we also feel that while we have a very, very strong diversity team which drives a lot of phenomenal diversity programs, a lot of programs which ensure that more and more women are encouraged to rise up the corporate ladder and take on more high level of responsibilities, and they have the necessary support, the necessary mentorship programs, and the necessary coaching, etc.
Yes.
But we did feel the need that we cannot just look at diversity in isolation as an organization. An HCL employee, as much as he or she interacts with women leaders within HCL, we also interact with a lot of women leaders within customer accounts, and we wanted to get this entire ecosystem together and leverage the strength of the ecosystem and get the discussion and the dialogue going within the ecosystem. And it is with that intent that we launched the Red Ladder initiative. It is an awards program primarily, where the idea is how do you recognize, how do you first identify, and how do you recognize those high performing women and give them that platform through the Red Ladder Award platform, and also leverage them as role models for other aspiring women. We have currently tied up with about 50 odd customers, who are part of the Red Ladder initiative. We are now tying up with a lot of industry associations to ensure that women in technology, women in outsourcing, do get the required recognition that they so much deserve.
Okay, maybe we can invite some of those women on the show then, give them a spotlight to promote them as role models.
This would be definitely a very good platform
idea
for women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's been a wonderful conversation, Shimona. I appreciate you talking about marketing, women in tech, and the whole transformation of actually the whole marketing function, how things are changing because technology enables you to do so much more.
Thank you so much, Jessica. It's been an absolute pleasure interacting with you.
And thanks to those who are watching. Take it up with Jessica Lee, Shimona Chadha from HCL.
Thank you so much for your time.